Warm greetings from the High 10. This is Everyday Shenanigans on this Saturday, March 7th, 2020. Hope you all are warm and safe out there and having a great weekend. I'm going to just say a few words pertaining to 15-month-old missing Evelyn Mae Boswell, who is now, her remains are believed to have been found in Sullivan County, Tennessee, on a property of a relative related to the mother, Megan Boswell. So much I was trying to remember to say in the previous video that's uploading, a little bit under the weather, but I'm going to try to be brief. I had read an article, I saw a news interview with the bail bondsman who is dealing with Angela Boswell and William McLeod, and he had made a comment saying that William McLeod had told him that Angela said that Megan knows where she is. So I often wondered about that comment because I think I just saw that. I watched that clip yesterday or Thursday, and I thought, what does that mean? How would she know Angela, that Megan knew? So it made me wonder about that. Of course, I didn't get the news about the remains being discovered until late in the morning, this Saturday morning. Looking at things on the internet or whatever, comments below. But you often backtrack. When you listen to commentary, you always wonder who knew something, who suspected something. And so I thought that was interesting. The fact that these people have all bonded out, Angela Boswell, William McLeod, I thought that was suspect considering they had previous charges. Angela's bond was revoked at one time. At this time when she got arrested, and then all of a sudden she bonds out. No money, no job, no place to live, but yet you're bonded out. Next thing you know, same day, William McLeod has a court appearance. His lawyer was fighting to get him a reduced bond. The next thing I know, here comes a commenter saying, oh, he's out of jail. And I thought, how the hell could he be out of jail? The lawyer was just in court hours before, wrangling with the judge just to get a reduced bail, bond, and yet two are out. So what is really going on with these people pertaining to this child whose remains have been allegedly discovered? Did Angela Boswell know what happened with the child? Did William McLeod know? Has he been lying for Angela Boswell? Has the mother, Angela Boswell, seen her grandbaby more than once since last July of 19? Was she keeping the child? Is that a true account of the child being with her at the KFC in North Carolina? We haven't gotten any information back from that said video surveillance. I find that interesting. Sheriff's Department never released a confirmation on that said information. The fact, as I stated, that Tommy Boswell Sr., son, whomever, raising Cain with the Sheriff's Department about searching their property. Why would you be worried about that when they're looking for your granddaughter and you're the one who got the ball rolling to say that the child was missing? I watched a CNN report today stating that it really goes back to her disappearing around the 1st of December, not really the 10th. So then that makes me wonder, well, I thought the sheriff was adamant about the babysitter's account around the 10th or the 11th. But then this news outlet, CNN, had a correspondent saying, well, we just spoke with the sheriff and he's saying something around the 1st. So it's like, how long has the child been missing? And then we have to factor that in, the actual time. What will the autopsy reveal if she's been missing since December 1st and not December 25th, 26th? That will be even worse, because the longer a body stays out in elements or hidden, it can hinder cause of death. I'm also curious if Tommy Boswell Sr., the father of Megan Boswell, if this said location of the child's remains, if they were found on his property, and how would that work out? And what would he have to say if indeed the remains were found on his property? I didn't know anything. I didn't see anything. but yet it's your home, your house. And it didn't state if the remains were found inside, outside. They just said the property. And of course, they didn't identify Mr. Boswell as the location homeowner. Let me make that clear. I'm just saying, what if? Considering that is where she last lived. She also lived in her brother's trailer, one of his trailers. That's another thing to think about. But yet these same said people that are so concerned, putting up bond money for the baby. Reward money, excuse me. But may have knowledge to where the child actually was all this time. And wouldn't that be something to find out? These heathens knew all along that the child was buried. But then one would say, well, that doesn't make any sense. Wouldn't they keep quiet? They wouldn't go report the baby missing if they had knowledge that the child was being concealed on one of their properties or had a hand in harming the child and or disposing the child. So you don't know what to think. Who's all involved from beginning to end? Because we do know in certain crimes, there is always a beginning, a middle, and an end. Somebody hurts the baby, person. Somebody goes and tell what they did and or asks for help in disposing of the baby or person, or asking persons to lie for them. We will see how this all falls out. But at the moment, no statement from Angela Boswell, who adamantly in one of the articles says she couldn't wait to get back, to see about her grandbaby, to get down to the bottom of her disappearance, to help with the case, yet never got a statement when she got out of jail last week. Same thing with Mr. Ethan Perry. In the military, yes, I know all of that, but no statement from him or his family. Nobody there for Evelyn Mae Boswell. Are these people involved? Her father, brother, any other relatives? One could think now that maybe Angela Boswell didn't know of the child's disappearance or death, maybe suspected something, but wasn't actually involved, considering she and the father are not together, and she's been living pillar to post. So how would she be on a property to do of anything to the child, dispose of a child? Unless that's another secret we don't know about. That maybe she was back with the father, living, sneaking around, laying up, who knows? Because with these kind of people, you never know the truth. Because when you get one line and then you start seeing another one lie, then you just group them all the same. And that's a sad way to view people and judge people. But now that we know, days ago, the sheriff made a statement that they were raising Cain about their properties being searched. That led me to think they were right on the money and they were going to find that baby or something linked to that baby. Even if they didn't find her on a said property, but they were going in the right direction. And I always thought with the trailer being searched, the brother's trailer, somebody was talking and told something. Because I always said, when they start digging out stuff and pulling out stuff, and then you're seeing them with bags, why is that? Did somebody tell something? Or it was just a hunch? Because that's where the mother and child allegedly last lived. Nothing but conflicting stories from Megan Boswell and her relatives. And now remains have been found on Megan Boswell's family members' property. No specification if it was inside the home or outside the home, but it's messed up, jacked up, tragic nonetheless. Because now you have to wonder, these same said people who are acting like they were so concerned about this child, waiting 2 months to file a missing persons report, putting up reward money for the child, and then she's now found on one of their properties. And as I state, is it Tommy Boswell Sr.'s property? Because if it is, you have a lot of explaining to do, sir. And what about the other children that he raises that belonged to Angela Boswell. One could wonder, are these children safe in this man's custody? Because look at how Megan Boswell turned out. And they too have the same father and mother. What do these children have to look forward to? Because this is how I look at things. They don't have to turn out to be murderers, baby abusers, but they've got the DNA in them, and they're raised in the same home that Miss Boswell was raised in. So what are their chances for leading a successful and productive life? And that's something to think about. Because lo and behold, if the state and the detectives find out that Mr. Boswell, Tommy Boswell Sr., is indeed involved in the murder, covering up, disposal of that child alongside Megan Boswell, what's going to happen to those other children if they are under the age of 18? Just something for you all to think about. This is messed up. This is all the way messed up. So, Megan Boswell, what lie are you going to spin now to the authorities? And what lie is Tommy Boswell Sr. going to spin to the authorities? Like, share, subscribe, drop your comments below. Thanks for joining me on this cold Saturday in the high 10. Thanks a lot for joining me. And this is Everyday Shenanigans. Bye-bye.